Jai is now approaching 10 weeks, or he is 10 weeks actually. He's 10 weeks in a few days. And we're almost to the stage now whereby instead of attaching a sound to the command, as an example, initially when he came we attached the sound to it. Now what we're doing is we're actually giving him a command. When you give your dog a command to do something, you must give him a reward, such as praise. We have to give the dog the reward that he wants to receive, not necessarily the reward that we want to apply to the dog. So in other words, if you go to a normal training class, they force the dog in, and what they do is they'll hang on to the dog and they'll pet the dog. This is entirely wrong because we really don't know that the dog wants to receive that. In Jai's case, what he wants to do, he wants to bite my arm when he does something well. Now this is going to be somewhat controversial because as an average household you're going to say, well, I don't want my dog biting. But what I'm saying is that by the time the dog is 4 months old and he's acquired his second teeth, the biting will stop. We're in the process now of converting Jai into various commands. So when we start doing this, we think in terms of tones. And tones again are somewhat controversial. Why do we give dogs little pleasant tones when they're babies? Everybody thinks that it's a fun thing, and it is. So you're saying good dog, and you're creating a pleasurable time with a pleasurable tone for the dog. Why do you do that? Well, people don't think this through. Generally speaking, what you want to do is now you're going to create literally a consequence. So for instance, if Jai doesn't do something, I will dramatically change the tone. And so it'll be a tone that he hasn't heard, it'll be a tone that isn't pleasant, and that'll be a consequence. So he'll say, to avoid the consequence, then I'll perform the act that's required by my handler. So in other words, if I say, Jai, come, and he doesn't respond, I will immediately give him a sharp tone, and he'll look at me, and to avoid that sharp tone, he'll do exactly what he's supposed to do. What we're going to do now is we're going to leave that and we're going to put this into practice. You understand that this hasn't been rehearsed. None of these tapings have been rehearsed, and it's actual reality. And as I promised, by the end of Jai's age of 20 weeks, he'll be completely trained. Right now what we're going to do coming when called under a little bit of stress. I say a little bit of stress because what we're going to do, we're going to distract Jai, we're going to call him away from the distraction and see how well he's doing. You'll notice now Jai is distracted. Actually, we inadvertently, by mistake, have dropped a little bit of dog food on the driveway over there. And this is a critical part because if he's on a driveway, of course, then he has to come when he's called. So we're going to try this. Jai, come. Good dog. Good dog. Good dog, boy. Good dog, Jai. Ah! Good dog. Now you'll notice he's biting my hand. Good dog, Jai. It's a good dog, boy. That's a good dog. Good dog, Jai. Good dog, Jai. Now one of the things that one of the things that I got his attention with a hard Jai, like Jai to get his attention, and the sound come was only loud enough for him to hear. So I didn't shout come. I just said come in a normal tone, loud enough for Jai to hear it. And now giving him his reward, as the scars on my arm will tell. Don't forget, as I repeated numerous times, by the time he's 20 weeks, all the biting will go away. In fact, the last few days, the biting has become less and less and less and less. Good dog. And here he is.